Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the News Today edition of 13th November. My name is Anuj and I will be taking this session. In today's session, we will be covering 4 main news and 8 also in news. In main news, we will be covering about Union Cabinet approved the export promotion mission. In this, we will be covering about this mission. In the second news, we will be covering about Project Cheetah and Cheetah as a species, as India and Botswana has announced Cheetah Translocation Pact. In the third news, we will be covering about green hydrogen, as Union Minister has said that the Hydrogen Valley Innovation Clusters are being developed across the country. In the fourth main news, we will be covering about India and Bhutan relation, as our Honorable Prime Minister has visited Bhutan. Okay. In quick updates, we will be learning about quantum diamond microscope, Fourier transform infrared spectrography. In the third quick update, we will be learning about protection of plant varieties and Farmers' Right Act of 2001. In the fourth main news, we will be covering about DNA identification. Then we will be learning about Pratyush-Sinha Committee. Then we will be learning about Gandromorphism. And in second last quick update, we will be learning about ricin and ammonium nitrate. In the last quick update, we will be learning about auroras. Okay, so this is the brief about the today's session. Okay, let us move to the first news for today. So the first news of today is that Union Cabinet has approved the export promotion mission. Okay, so we will be learning about this mission and why this has been launched. Okay, and it is related to GS paper 3, which talks about economic development. Okay, so this is the brief about the first news. Let us move to the discussion of the first news. So as we have already discussed about the context, okay, so this is the initiative first announced in the Union Budget of 2025 and 2026. Okay, and what is the aim of this initiative? Okay, so it aims to serve as a comprehensive and flexible framework to bolster India's export ecosystem. Okay, so you might be knowing why export ecosystem is very important. Okay, so we will discuss what was the need for this initiative. Okay, so we will divide this into 4 aspects. First, you know that the tariff war is going on across the world. Okay, so that's why we need to protect our exporters. Secondly, export plays a very important role in Indian GDP. So export plays around 21% of GDPs of India. Okay, it plays an also important role in MSMEs, as 45% of export is from MSMEs. You might also know about the MSMEs definition, which has been recently changed. Okay, so paper 3 is very dynamic. Okay, and there are very variability in the paper 3. That's why you need specific data, specific definition to make your answers very specific. So in the recent definition, the MSMEs, okay, is defined based on 2 criteria. One is investment and another one is turnover. Okay. So micro, small and medium. Okay. So the definition has been simplified. So for micro it is from 2.5 crore investment to turnover of 10 crores. Okay. For small it is investment up to 25 crore, turnover up to 100 crores. Okay. And for medium it is investment up to 125 crores and turnover up to 500 crores. Okay. So this definition is important for your prelims as well as for your mains, because there can be direct question on the MSME's roles for the Indian growth. Okay. Also, export is important for jobs, as export provide around 45 million jobs directly and indirectly. Okay, this is very specific data which can be used in your mains examination. Okay, so we will move further in the discussion and we will learn about the key features of the export promotion mission. Okay, first of all, let us learn about its financial outlay and timeline. Okay, so the financial outlay which will be provided by the government is around 25,060 crores and it is for 6 years, that is from 2025-26 to 2030-31. Okay, so that is the first key feature. Second, its target. Okay, its target basically three aspects. One is MSME. We have already discussed the definition of MSME. Second, first time exporter. Third, the labor intensive exporters such as textile and other things which are being suffered due to tariff of the USA. Okay, that is the target areas of this initiative. Thirdly, its implementation agency. Okay, so basically it will be implemented by Directorate General of Foreign Trade along with the various ministries like ministries for MSMEs or Ministry of Finance in collaboration with the state governments. Okay, this is the implementation agency for export promotion mission. Okay, lastly, it consolidates various schemes such as interest equalization scheme which was there to provide subsidize on interest and also market access initiative. It was to promote Indian export in various markets. Okay, so these are the key features. We will also discuss other features of this scheme in the next slide. So let us discuss about the architecture. Okay, so it has been divided into two parts. One, Niryat Protsahan, and another one is Niryat Disha. These are two Hindi words. Niryat Protsahan means that export support, okay, support to the export. And Niryat Disha means direction to the export. Okay, so this is the two component, and one is financial support and another one is non-financial support. So financial support is Niryat Protsahan and non-financial support is Niryat Disha. Okay, so in Niryat Protsahan, improvising access to the affordable trade finance through financial institution, through interest subvention, collateral guarantee, credit card to the for e-commerce exports. Okay, so various types of financial incentives are given in Niryat Protsahan. Okay, in Niryat Disha, it is designed to enhance the market readiness and competitiveness of the Indian exports. And how it will increase the Indian competitiveness of the Indian exports? By increasing the export quality and compliance support. Wherever you have noticed that many of the Indian export fail at the quality and compliance at various countries. Okay, it also will assist for international branding and it will promote the export warehouse and the logistics. Okay, so this was all about the initiative. Now we will look into one more important aspect that is related news for today. In this news, that cabinet has approved credit guarantee scheme for exporter. What does credit guarantee means? Okay, so it means that the government will act like a guarantors when a financial institute will provide finance to exporters. Okay, that is the basic meaning of credit guarantors. Okay, so in this, total credit support will be given up to 20,000 additional 20,000 crores, collateral free with 100% guarantee coverage by National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited. So this company is very important because this will guarantee the credit support. Okay. Secondly, the beneficiary will include MSMEs and also the non-MSMEs, exporters. Okay. Thirdly, its objective to enhance liquidity, support market diversification, boost employment, and improve global competitiveness of the Indian products. Lastly, its implementing agency is Department of Financial Services through NCTGTC. Okay, so this was about the credit guarantee scheme for exporters. Okay, so this was the first news. Now we will discuss the PYQ related to this news. Okay, so first PYQ is from prelims. Okay, you have to solve this because SEGA very important part for your prelims as well as for mains. There are direct question from SEG in the mains as well. So look into the SEG Act and try to answer this question in the comments. Okay, the questions is from 2010 prelims, and it is that SEG Act of 2005, which came into effect in February 2006, has certain objective. In this concept, consider the following. So it is asking about the objective of SEG Act of 2005. Okay. So the first option is development of infrastructure facilities. Second, promotion of investment from foreign sources. Third, promotion of export of services only. Okay. So please Google about the SEG Act and try to answer from the given options. Options are A, 1 and 2 only, B, 3 only, C, 2 and 3 only, D, 1, 2 and 3. When you will be solving this question, you will also come to know about the extreme statement, which consists words like all, only. So such types of learning are very much important for your prelims examination. Now coming to the mains PYQ. Okay, so the question is from 2013. Okay, so the question is examine the impact of liberalization on companies owned by Indians. Are they competing with the MNCs satisfactorily? Okay. So basically it is not about export, but it is about the competitiveness of the MNCs and the Indian companies. Okay, and what government is doing to enhance or to improve the Indian companies against the global MNCs. Okay, so this is the question from the mains 2013. Okay, whenever there is a PYQ, please try to frame a answer. Okay, now Chat GPT is available, Gemini is available, Google is available to you. You can look at the various platform and try to solve these kind of questions. Okay, now we will move to the next news. Okay. So the next news is related to cheetahs. And what is the context? So the context of this news is that India and Botswana announced Cheetah Translocation Pact. In this news, we will be learning about Project Cheetah. Okay, and cheetah as a species. That is the main goal of this news, and it is related to GS paper 3, which talks about biodiversity. Okay, so without wasting any time, let us move to the discussion of the news. Okay. So first of all, that India and Botswana had formally announced about the translocation of 8 cheetah to India as a part of Project Cheetah. Okay, so we will learn about Project Cheetah and also about the cheetah as a species. Before going there, let us learn about the Botswana. Okay, it's an African country which is landlocked, and 70% of its area is covered by desert, which is Kalahari Desert. Okay. So before this also, we have translocated cheetahs from other 2 countries, which are Namibia and South Africa. Okay, from Namibia we have translocated 8 cheetahs, and from South Africa we have translocated about 12 cheetah. Total 20. And around 26 cheetah has born in India. That's amount to 46. And out of these 46, 19 have died, which have left total cheetah of around 27 in India. Okay, so presently there are 27 cheetahs in India. Okay, that is a net gain of 7 cheetahs. Okay, so this is basically about the Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa and our previous translocations of cheetah. Okay, those translocations were also the part of Project Cheetah. Now we will move further and we will learn about cheetah as a species. Okay, these kind of specific species are very important for your prelims examination, where UPSC is asking about the characteristics of these species. Okay, also it is asking about their threat and also about their habitat also, but the most they are asking mostly about their characteristics. Okay. Okay. So this is about the prelims examination. Let us learn about cheetahs. They are the world fastest mammal and only the large carnivores to be extinct in India. Okay, this is an extreme statement which should be learned very carefully. Okay, and they are the fastest mammals. Okay, they run about 128 kilometers per hour. Suppose they are running on Indian roads where the speed limit is of about 100 kilometers per hour. So challan will be issued to cheetah for crossing the speed limit. So their speed is about 128 kilometers. Okay. And unlike other big cats, they does not roar. Other big cats are lion, tigers, leopards, and jaguar. Okay. That is the second aspect. Third main characteristic is that they hunt during the day. Okay, so they hunt during the day. Okay. And there are two species of cheetah. One is African cheetah and another one is Asiatic cheetah. Asiatic cheetah is presently only available in one country, that is Iran. Okay. And African cheetah is present in many parts of Africa. Okay, so these are the two species of cheetah. And African cheetah is vulnerable and Asiatic cheetah is critically endangered. Okay, when you see the IUCN red list, they are divided like extinct, extinct in wild, critically endangered, endangered, vulnerable, okay, near threatened, and least concern. Okay, so that is the red list classification of IUCN. In this, African cheetah are vulnerables, okay, and Asiatic cheetah are critically endangered. Okay, so this is about the cheetah as a species. Now we will learn about the project Cheetah. Okay. So when it was launched in 2022. Okay. And it aims to translocate African cheetah to India. And it was the world's first intercontinental large wild carnivorous translocation initiative. Very important point, as it is an extreme statement. Secondly, the implementing agency is National Tiger Conservation Authority. Okay, it is an statutory body under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay, and it was constituted in 2006 by amending Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. And it's come under umbrella project of Project Tiger and Project Elephant. Okay, now Project Tiger, which was started in 1973, and Project Elephant, which was started in 1992, was merged in 2023-24 and has been named as Project Tiger and Elephant. So important data or important information here is that Project Tiger and Project Elephant are merged together. Okay. And there is a Cheetah Project Steering Committee as well, which was established by NTCA to overview and overlook about the Project Cheetah. Okay, so this was about Project Cheetah. Now we will discuss one PYQ. Before discussing PYQ, we will discuss about the significance of introducing cheetahs in India. Okay. First of all, they are very important for ecological restoration. Okay. So because they play an important role as apex predators, so they balance the population of prey. Suppose there is no predator for a prey, so the density or the population of that prey will increase, which will harm the balance of that ecosystem. So they plays an very important part in ecological restoration. Secondly, they protect biodiversity. Okay, as they will be serving as the flagship species. That means government and other institution will be looking at firmly to them and will try to protect them. Along with them, other species which are there in that ecosystem will also be protected, and it will lead to biodiversity conservation. Okay, so this was about the significance of reintroducing cheetah in India. Now we will look into one PYQ. Okay, you have to solve this PYQ. Okay, so the PYQ is from 2024. Okay, so the question is, consider the following statement. First, lion do not have a particular breeding season. Second, unlike most other big cats, cheetah do not roar. We have discussed this point. Okay. Thirdly, unlike male lions, male leopard do not proclaim their territory by scent marking. Okay, so these are the three statements. Okay, and the options given are 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, and 1, 2 and 3. So second point is correct as we have discussed. Please find out which statement is correct between 1 and 3. Only one statement is correct. Okay, I am given hint here. Only the one statement is correct between 1 and 3. Okay, find out that and write the answer for this PYQ in the comment section. Okay, when you try to solve these type of PYQ, you will remember them for long time, and you will also analyze what kind of questions are coming in prelims examination. Okay. Now we will move to the next news for today. So the next news is related to green hydrogen. Okay, and the development is about Hydrogen Valley Innovation Clusters. The Union Minister has said that we will develop Hydrogen Valley Innovation Cluster at various points in the country. Okay, and it is related to GS paper 3, which talks about sustainable development. Let us move to the discussion of this news. Okay. The context we have already discussed. Union Minister of Science and Technology has announced that 4 HVICs are being developed across the country. Okay. We will learn about HVICs. Before that, let us learn about green hydrogen. Okay. When you will be learning, or when you were being studying in your 10th class, you might have heard that the hydrogen is the most abundant element in universe. You might have learned this. Okay. Now we are producing hydrogen using renewable energy. That is known as green hydrogen. There are many types of hydrogen that are grey, black, okay, purple or pink. Okay. So in this, the hydrogen does not change the color. The various type of hydrogen are decided on basis of how they are produced or how hydrogen is being produced. If we are saying that that is a black hydrogen, that means the power source which is used is coal to produce hydrogen. If we are saying this is an gray hydrogen, the power source is used is natural gas. If we are saying it is an pink hydrogen, then the power source is used from the nuclear energy. And if we are saying it is an green hydrogen, the power source is using renewable energy. Renewable energy might be solar or might be the wind energy. Okay. Secondly, the process for producing green hydrogen. It is by electrolysis, that is separating H2 and oxygen from water, or by gasification of biomass, which leads to sink gas which has high density of hydrogen. Okay. Thirdly, what is the criteria? Criteria is given for producing green hydrogen. The criteria is emission from the process should not be more than 2 kg of CO2 equivalent for every 1 kg of hydrogen production. Okay, so that is the basic criteria. Lastly, India has 3 green hydrogen hub. One is Deen Dayal Port. It is in Gujarat. Okay. Second, VO Chidambaramnar Port, that is in Tamil Nadu. Okay. And another one is Pradeep Port. Pradeep Port is in Orissa. Okay. So these are the first 3 green hydrogen hubs. So this was about the green hydrogen. Okay. Now we will look into the challenges of green hydrogen as well as the significance. So first significance is that there is abundant renewable energy in the form of solar and wind. Okay, and it is very essential for energy security of India as we are dependent on import for fossil fuels. Third, it will also act as export hub. So we will also export the hydrogen to the other countries. The fourth significance is that it is used in industries such as decarbonized steel, refiners, fertilizers, which are hard to abate industries. Fourthly, they will promote the job creation as new employment in manufacturing and R&D will be introduced. Last, they will also help in getting or reaching the climate's goal of India. The climate goal is to achieve net zero by 2070. Okay, and what are the challenges? The first challenge is the high cost. Okay, they are more expensive. The electrolysis process is very complicated. Okay, so that is require high cost. Secondly, there are infrastructure gaps. Still, the pipeline storage and distribution is not efficient. Third, there is lot of usage of water and it can lead to water scarcity. Fourth, technology. Advanced electrolyzers are required. We have already discussed that electrolyzer process is very complicated to produce green hydrogen. There are grid issues and policy needs as well. Okay. One more important fact. Okay. So the efficiency of green hydrogen is little bit low. What does it mean? First of all, you are using renewable energy to produce green hydrogen. Okay. Then you will use green hydrogen and then you will produce energy. So there is transfer of energy 2 times, which will lead to loss of energy. That's why this process of converting is little bit less efficient. Okay, that is an important challenge regarding the green hydrogen. Okay. Now we will discuss about the HVICs. Okay. What is their aim? Okay. So they try to demonstrate the full hydrogen value chain from production to storage to transport as well as the utilization. So they will demonstrate how green hydrogen can be produced, how it can be stored, how it can be transported, and how it can be utilized. That is the first aim. Secondly, it will cater as the first large-scale hydrogen demonstration project. That is the aim of these HVICs. Secondly, it is integrated into National Green Hydrogen Mission. When was this National Green Hydrogen Mission launched? It was launched in 2023 to create a green hydrogen ecosystem in India. And it target to produce 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen annually by 2030. So it is from 2023 to 2030, and it will produce 5 million metric ton of green hydrogen annually. So this was the news, and now we will look into the very easy PYQ of 2010. Okay. Please look into the PYQ and try to solve it. It is very easy. Okay. So the question is, hydrogen fuel cell vehicle produces one of the following as exhaust. Okay, so hydrogen when mixed with oxygen, what it will lead to? The option are NH3CH4 H2O H2O2. Okay, please solve this PYQ as well. Okay, it is an very easy PYQ. Okay, so this was all about this news. Now we will move to the fourth news for today. And the fourth news is that our Honorable Prime Minister has concluded 2-day visit to Bhutan. In this news, we will see about the key outcomes of the meeting and about the Indian and Bhutan relation. It is part of GS2, which talks about India and its neighborhood relation. Okay, so let us move to the discussion of this news. So first of all, let us discuss about the key outcome of the visit. So first aspect is energy. Okay, so they have jointly inaugurated 1200 megawatt Puna Sangchu 2 project. Okay, sorry for the mispronunciation. And they also renewed work on the 1200 megawatt of Puna Chansungchu 1. Okay, so that is the first aspect. Second, India has also extended a concessional line of credit of 4,000 crores for Bhutan energy sector. Energy plays a very important role in Bhutan GDP. Around 40% of Bhutan GDP is from energy, that is hydro projects or hydropower projects. Secondly, India has also one other outcome is economic outcome, that is India has extended support to Bhutan 13th 5-year plans. Okay, so in Bhutan also there are 5-year plans, and it also include economic stimulus program. Okay, and also Glempu Mindful City of Bhutan, we also supported that. It is an urban project which talks about mindfulness while developing a urban area. Lastly, there is cultural exchange as well. There was a public exhibition of sacred holy Pipravaha relics of Lord Buddha from India in Thimphu. If you will be reading about Buddhist architecture, you will read about 3 aspects. One is stupas, viharas, and chaityas. Okay, so relics are kept under stupas. There is Piprivaha stupa as well, and where Piprivaha relics is located, Piprivaha relics are located in Siddharth Nagar, and it was discovered in 1898. Okay, and it is considered as ancient Kapil Vastu. And why this ancient Kapil Vastu is famous? It is famous because it was the capital city of Sankhya kingdom, where Buddha was born. Okay, so this was about the ancient Kapil Vastu, Piprivaha relics, Piprivaha stupas, other type of architecture in Buddhism that are viharas and chaityas. Okay, please read about viharas and chaityas as well. Okay, so that you will be very clear about stupas, viharas, chaityas. Now we will move further and we will look into the India and Bhutan relations. Okay. So India and Bhutan had very close relations from a long time. We have signed a friendship treaty that is known as Treaty of Friendship in 1949, which was revised in 2007 and established mutual sovereignty, close cooperation and open borders. Okay. And we have strategic convergence as well. For close coordination on regional stability, Bhutan is very important for our stability. Also to secure border. Okay, because China considered it as a part of the five-finger policy. What is five-finger policy? China considered Tibet as palm, Ladakh as one finger, Nepal as other finger, Sikkim as other finger, Bhutan as other finger, and Arunachal Pradesh as another finger. And it considered that these five part along with the Tibet are part of China. That's why it is very important for us. Okay. Moving to the other aspect, economic linkage between India and Bhutan. So the bilateral trade is between Bhutan and India is there, and India is the Bhutan's largest trade partner. Secondly, FDI from India constitute about 55% of total FDI in Bhutan. Thirdly, there are many connectivity projects such as cross-border rail links, Galipu and Kokrajhar, and Samaste and Baranhat. Okay, Galipu is in Bhutan, Kokrajhar is in Assam, Samaste is in Bhutan, and Banarhat is in West Bengal. Okay, so these are about the connectivity project. Okay. There is people to people connect. Okay, and shared Buddhist heritage, we have already talked about Buddhism, and robust cultural exchange program are there. But there are several issues such as delay in hydropower projects. We are not completing hydropower project in Bhutan on time. Secondly, there is need to diversify beyond hydropower. So the most of the exchange is taking place in hydropowers. Thirdly, there is issue of Chinese influence as well. Okay, so we have already talked about the Chinese influence in it. Please write down about the project Dantak in the comment section, what it is for. There is a project known as Project Dantak. What it is for? Okay, it is a project of BRO, and for what it is, please write down in the comment section. Okay, so this was about the relations of India and Bhutan. Now we will see one PYQ. It is from 2017 mains paper. The question is, China is using its economic relation and positive trade surplus as a tool to develop potential military power status in Asia. In this light of this statement, discuss its impact on India as her neighbors. Okay, so it is basically talking about the China's rise and how India can counter this. Okay, and what are the influence on India and its her neighbor. Okay, so this was a mains PYQ from 2017. Now we will move to the quick update for today. So the first quick update is about quantum diamond microscope. And what is the context? The context is that the IIT Bombay has developed India's first quantum diamond microscope under the National Quantum Mission. There is a national quantum mission for enhancing the quantum technology in India. Okay, and we will learn about the quantum diamond microscope in this news. First of all, what it is used? It uses nitrogen vacancy centers in diamond to image magnetic field at nanoscale resolution at room temperature. So it is very technical. You can also avoid about it, but you should know that it is for imaging magnetic field at nanoscale resolution. Okay. And what it will be its application? Its application will be that it will enable advanced research in neuroscience, material science and non-destructive semiconductor testing by imaging their magnetic field. Okay. And what it is significance? Its significance that it secure India's first patent in quantum sensing and strengthen national capabilities on frontier instrumentation. This statement is very important. Why? Because it is India's first patent in quantum sensing and strengthen national capabilities in frontier instrumentations. There can be a statement which will talks about that India's first patent quantum sensing is quantum diamond microscope, and it is developed by IIT Bombay. This was the first quick updates. Let us move to the second quick updates. Today's quick updates are mostly related to science. Okay. Second quick update is regarding Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy. And what is the context? The context is that recent reports highlight the use of FTIR spectroscopy as a rapid and effective tool for detecting material evidence in post-blast forensic investigation. Okay, you might have seen in movies or in crime patrol that whenever there is a crime, research team will go and will collect the samples. But as there was a bomb blast, the samples were get very heated and they burns into ashes. That's why such type of technology is used. And here technology name is Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy. Okay. And it is a technique used to analyze material by measuring how they absorb infrared light. And where does infrared light stand at this electromagnetic spectrum? This is an electromagnetic spectrum from radio waves, microwaves, infrared waves, then visible light, then ultraviolet, X-rays and gamma rays. Okay. Here there will be shorter wavelength, higher frequency, higher energy. Here there will be longer wavelength, lower frequency and lower energy. There are many questions in prelims examination where they have asked about the usage of radio waves, usage of microwaves, usage of infrared waves. Okay, so here they are using infrared lights. And what they are doing? They are analyzing material by measuring how the material will absorb infrared light. Okay, and it uses a special device called an interferometer to record data. And what are its applications? It commonly used as across fields such as pharmaceuticals, material science, environmental analysis and forensic. In this news we have learnt about it usage in forensics. So this was about the second quick update. Moving to the third quick update. Okay. The third quick update is about Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right Act 2001. And what is the context? That this act has completed 25 years. Whenever there is completion of 25 years, 50 years, such timelines of that development become very important. So we will learn about this act. Its objective was to establish an effective protection system for plant varieties, farmers and breeders, right? Encourage new varieties development and seed industry growth. Who are breeders? Basically, breeders can be the scientists who develop new varieties of plants, okay, and farmers, who grows crops. Okay, so basically it protect plant varieties, farmers, and breeders, and it recognizes following rights. It recognizes rights of farmers as well as the researchers and the breeders' rights as well. We have already discussed about breeders. You know about researchers. You know about farmers' right. And there was an authority as well. The name of the authority was Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right Authority, which was established in 2005 as a statutory body. So this authority has also completed 20 years and the act has completed 25 years. This was all about this act. Okay, now we will move to the next quick updates. The next quick update is about DNA identification. And it is in the context because it is used to identify suspect or victim at the Red Fort blast site. Okay, so we will learn about DNA identification. So the key methods in DNA identification is, first is short tandem repeat. So the DNA pattern is repeated and it is matched with the family members. And suppose they are matching it with mother or with the father, and if 50% matched with the mother, that means that a person has been identified. The other two methods are mitochondrial DNA. Suppose only mother is available. Then it is used if nuclear DNA is degraded. Mitochondrial DNA is abundant and maternally inherited. It is inherited from mother. So that's why it's allow match with the maternal relatives. Then the other technique is Y chromosomes. You might have read that XX is for females and XY chromosomes are for males. Okay. So it focuses on STR. Okay, STR stands for short tandem repeat. On the Y chromosome inherited from fathers to the son. Okay, because Y chromosomes are available in males. So this was about DNA identification. Now we will move to the next news. So next news is about Pratyush Sinha Committee. Okay, it is an SEBI appointed high-level committee under chairman of Pratyush Sinha, which has recommended stronger rules to prevent conflict of interest among top officials. So conflict of interest is a ethical dilemma. Okay. Suppose you are going to give interview for UPSC panel and there is one relative of yours at the panel. So there will be conflict of interest for the panel member because he knows you for before coming there only. So that is conflict of intent and it create ethical dilemma. And it can be eliminated by 2 to 3 methods. One is by declaring about the conflict and also by removing or transferring the conflict. That means they will remove themselves from that panel. Okay, now considering about the key recommendations of the committee which are given by the Pratyush Sinha committee. First of all, it talks about mandatory disclosure. As we have already talked, when there is a conflict of interest, there should be a disclosure of conflict of interest. So they have said that they should declare about asset and liabilities by the chairperson, hold person as well as the senior officials. Secondly, they also talks about insider classification. Insiders are the person who knows about the information which is not available in the public. So it is saying that the SEBI persons knows the insider information. That's why they should be classified as insiders. Okay. So top SEBI leadership to be categorized as insider under insider trading regulation. And it put some investment restrictions as well, that says that senior official and dependent family members are allowed to invest only through pooled and professionally managed fund, but not directly. Okay, so they are considered as insiders, so they should invest through pooled and professionally managed fund. Lastly, they also talk about dedicated whistleblower channel for conflict of interest reporting. Okay, so someone who knows that the person has conflict of interest can report that to the authorities. So these are the key recommendation of Prithvish Sinha committee. So the next news is about gynandromorphism. And what is the context? The context is that scientists in Thailand has discovered a rare spider that is half female and half male. That is gynandromorphism, and it is named as Damarcus inanjuma. Okay, so we will be learning about gynandromorphism. Okay, it is an abnormal reproductive condition in which both female as well as the male characteristics are displayed in the single individual. Okay, so the definition for it is that it is an abnormal reproductive condition in which both female and male characteristics are displayed in the same individual. It is most frequently recognized in organisms that have strong sexual dimorphism. It stands for that their structure and forms are different. Sexual dimorphism. And it is mostly seen in butterflies, spiders, and birds. And the reason for it is event of mitosis during the early developing. Mitosis is the division of cell. It is division of cell. Okay. So this was about this news. Moving to the next news. So the next news is about ricin and ammonium nitrate. Okay. And the development here is that the recent terror attacks were averted related to ricin poison and ammonium nitrate. Okay. Before 5 years, you might have learned about the Beirut blast as well. That was due to ammonium nitrate. Okay. Now we will learn about ricin. So it is a protein found naturally in castor beans. Okay. You might have heard about castor oil. Okay. So it is naturally found in castor bean and can be made from waste residue of castor bean. And it is very poisonous. Even 1 milligram mixed in food can kill an adult, and there is no antidote or specific treatment for ricin poisoning. Secondly, ammonium nitrate. So pure ammonium nitrate is a white water-soluble crystalline substance with a melting point of 170 degrees. Okay. And it is not explosive by itself. However, if one of the ingredient used for manufacturing of explosive. So the important point here is that it is not explosive by itself. So there was ammonium nitrate explosion in Beirut. Beirut is a capital city of Lebanon. You might have seen about that blast in news. I think it has occurred in 2020. Moving to the last news for today. So the last news is related to auroras. And what is the context? The context here is that the auroras were witnessed in Northern America, Australia due to cannibal solar storm. Many of you have a wish list, might have a wish list to visit northern poles to see the northern lights. So northern lights are formed due to auroras. Okay. So auroras is a natural light displayed in night sky, usually only appearing in lower polar region. So it is visible in North Pole as well the Southern Pole regions. Okay. And they occur when high intensity charged particle from the sun collide with the atoms in the upper atmosphere. And oxygen is seen as green and red light, nitrogen is seen as blue and purple. Okay. And near the North Pole it is called as aurora borealis in the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere it is known as aurora australis or the southern lights. Okay. And why they are visible only in northern and the southern poles? Because when the solar storm come, it get connected with the magnetic field of the earth that transport it to northern and the southern pole, where it will attract or it will uh, come in the contact with the upper atmosphere. Okay, this was about the auroras. So this was about the auroras. This was all about the today's session. Please solve the quiz which is visible on your screen, and for reading further current affairs you can visit our digital current affairs platform where you can solve the smart quiz as well. Thank you and all the best for your preparation.